his 16 rebounds came on the offensive side of things. Kansas up a fair amount. As Ibuki finished with 19 points, 16 rebounds. It's a big Kansas win, 83-58. They have won 13 in a row.
You really don't want to go to Tallahassee this basketball season. It's not good for you. Number 11 Louisville at number 6 Florida State. Battle for first in the ACC. Cardinals were up 12 in half two, and then the Noles go on a run. Devin Vassell for 3. And then clamping down on D. The pass stolen by Patrick Williams, and he splits the D, and there he goes. Florida State on a 15-zip run. Noles take a 7-point lead. Then MJ Walker breaking the press. Trent Forrest throwing down on Jordan Nwora. Forrest had 14 of his 16 after halftime. Takes a hit. Everyone starts tapping their heads. Vassell talking to Allison Williams what it means.
All right, I saw you guys all doing this at the end of the game. This. What's up with that?
Oh, he dunked. He dunked on him. That's on his head. That's on his head. I'm sorry.
Florida State dunking on the entire conference right now. Noles take over first in the ACC. 22 straight wins at home. College hoops tonight, 7 Eastern. It's number 8 Kentucky going for 7 straight wins when the Wildcats visit A&M. Then NC State try to keep NCAA tourney bubble hopes alive when they visit Cole Anthony and the Tar Heels. Both of these games on ESPN and the ESPN app.
They've made a decision. It comes down to this. James Harden and Russell Westbrook. We going small ball.
That's the NBA now. Faster, guys are able to shoot, more athletic, so that's what our team is built.
That's the way you run the Rockets offense. Can this small ball lineup work? What do you say to that?
We're going to make it work.
The Rockets have been making this small ball thing work. Over the last 10 games, they've played without a center, and it's going pretty well. They've won 8 of their last 10, and they rank in the top 5 in NBA in points per game and offensive efficiency over that bend. Get Up is coming your way at the top of the hour, but you don't have to wait for a preview of that. Good morning, Greeny.
Nicole, thank you very much. And I think it's ironic to talk about small ball. I found the largest person I could possibly find. Kendrick Perkins is here. And let's talk about the Rockets, who, with that hot streak that Nicole is talking about, have moved up to 4th in the West. They're 1 game back of the Clippers for 3rd. They're 2 games back of the Nuggets for 2nd. Does this small ball thing actually work?
Yes, I do think it works. And listen, it's not small ball because you have a guy with a big heart by the name of Russell Westbrook. He's dominant in the paint right now. And I wasn't a fan of the Houston Rockets until they made this trade. But listen, you have 2 former MVPs that are still in their prime, and James Harden and Russell Westbrook, arguably the most dynamic backcourt in NBA history. And be careful, because the Rockets are only 2 games out of the 2nd seed.
Right.
And if they happen to sneak up at that 2nd seed, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockets come out of the West.
It does come all the way out of the West, all the way to the NBA Finals, because my next question was going to be, can this work in postseason basketball?
Absolutely. I think it could work. I don't know how opposite team could stop this, Greeny. Like, who could stop Russell Westbrook one-on-one? Who could stop James Harden one-on-one? I don't see it happening, and the playoffs are right around the corner. Unless somebody come up with a strategic game plan, which I don't see happening, hey, I wouldn't count the Rockets out.
It's a fascinating experiment. They made 16 threes last night. They've made 20 or more.
To see them go after it in L.A. is going to be just can't-miss television. And Zion has become can't-miss television. And his first 12 games and the strength and the carryover that we've seen from the college game to the NBA has been off the charts, averaging 25 points per game in the month of February alone. And you look at what the Lakers have been able to do, and Anthony Davis and the streak that he's been on of 6 consecutive games of 25 and 10. They're the top team in the Western Conference. This could very easily end up being the first round of the playoffs in the Western Conference, because I do think the Pelicans are going to be able to make a push here. With Zion, since he's debuted, they have the 2nd best pacing in the NBA. They also have the 2nd most points per game in the paint and the 2nd best shooting in the NBA since Zion has come in. They're flowing really well. And in the last 2 games in particular, the chemistry that they're developing with Zion and Brandon Ingram in particular, they've assisted on 77% of their made field goals. And when you're sharing the ball that way and you're putting your teammates in position to be successful, you're going to have a lot of success.
forever, LeBron has been the gold standard for strength and athleticism, and now he's meeting a guy in Zion who may top him.
Just like you are on this show.
Exactly.
You know,
Thank you for saying I set you up.
I've been noticing I've been up in Bristol. You see me around campus. I know you've been working out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for the heads up. Let's go to the East. We got another good one there. A rematch of last year's conference finals between the Bucks and Raptors. Toronto, great story, Sean. They're battle tested. They're actually slightly ahead of last year's pace when they won it all. What can the Raptors do that would give Milwaukee trouble in a 7-game series?
Well, I think it's exactly what you just alluded to. Is this is a team that last year figured out how to win, and while Kawhi Leonard is obviously not there anymore, there's so many components that are, and Pascal Siakam has emerged and taken on that leadership role of being the guy and the one that you can count on. His length and his athleticism. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch him go against Giannis. But in a 7-game series, a lot of it is, have you been there? Do you know how to accomplish it? Do you know how to get over the top? And Toronto still is playing with that edge. Now, the Bucks have had an unbelievable start to their season. Their win percentage against teams that are sub 500, I think they're 34-1 on the year, which is second best all time. If they continue to beat the people they're supposed to beat, that's great, but you got to beat the teams that are at the top. And the Raptors have been really good against the best teams in the NBA this season. And it's them and Boston that I think could give the best run at the Bucks and maybe keep Giannis out of the NBA Finals this year.
ESPN's BPI says there's a 44% chance these teams will meet in the East Finals, highest of any matchup. There's better than a 44% chance that Sean Farnham will have something interesting to say about it if it comes to pass. See you, Sean.
All right, talk to you soon.
All right. Tomorrow night on ESPN, our NBA doubleheader tips off with James Harden and the Rockets hosting Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. That's 8 Eastern, followed by the Celtics wrapping up their Western road trip against Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz. So Gordon Hayward going back to Salt Lake. Coverage begins with Stephen A's pregame Sports Center, 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
I want you to take just the game portion of Sabrina Ionescu's day. Number 3 Oregon against number 4 Stanford, with a chance for Ionescu to become the first player ever with 2,000 career points, 1,000 rebounds, and 1,000 career assists. Mission accomplished, sort of a big deal, and a credit to her work ethic, something her mentor and friend would have likely been very proud of. And that is where Sabrina's day began, publicly saying goodbye to that mentor and his daughter at Kobe and Gianna's memorial. Here's Shelley Smith.
Sabrina Ionescu's long day began Monday morning when the 22-year-old spoke at her friend Kobe Bryant's memorial in Los Angeles. At Stanford, her team looked on from shoot-around, the first she had ever missed, as she spoke passionately about her friendship with Kobe and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna.
She smiled all the time, but when it was game time, she was ready to kill. Her demeanor changed almost instantly when the whistle blew. I remember one time someone grabbed her jersey and she sort of just knocked him down and then stepped right over him. Me and Kobe looked at each other, smiling, and he goes, "I don't know where she learned that from." I laughed and said, "I do." You can't teach that, and definitely not at her age. Kobe was right. She had it.
And then Ionescu did something you might say was Mamba-esque. When the memorial was over, she boarded a private plane that took her an hour away to Stanford for a game pitting the 3rd-ranked Ducks against the 4th-ranked Cardinal.
She hadn't eaten yet today and couldn't, tried to and couldn't keep anything down, the poor kid. But, in true Sabrina fashion, she goes out on the biggest day and in the biggest moment and shines bright.
But with 150 left in the 3rd quarter, Ionescu became the first D1 college player, male or female, to record 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds.
A historic mark set by Sabrina Ionescu.
Warriors guard Steph Curry, who was also at Bryant's memorial, flew home in time to see Ionescu's performance.
To be at her age, with all that she has going on, and to have to give a speech in front of 19,000 people that are all mourning, is unbelievable. She spoke so well, shared her story and how much the Bryant's family means to her, and now she's out here representing them the best way she can by playing her heart out.
For Ionescu, the record capped a fiercely emotional day.
I mean, that one was for him. To do it on 2/24/20 is huge. We had talked about it in the preseason. I can't really put that into words, and he's looking down and really proud of me, and just really happy for this moment with my team.
And her teammates said that they knew what she was going through throughout the day. They felt it was their responsibility to lift her up. I loved hearing Sabrina talk about the first time she met Gianna. Sabrina asked Gianna, where do you want to go to college? And Gianna looked at her and went, UConn. That was at an Oregon basketball game.
Yeah, Gino Auriemma sort of had figured that out a long time ago. A lot of love there between all of them, and congratulations. 2K, 1K, 1K for Ionescu. Unbelievable accomplishment.
Pretty awesome.
Bradley Beal